deuxième rang, dernier cours, numéro 5, batting second. Playing shortstop, number 5, Ishikawa Kyoko. Comme en troisième, la joueuse désignée, numéro 16, batting third, designated player, number 16, Kudo Kanna. Au quatrième rang, au deuxième but, numéro 15, batting fourth, playing second base, number 15, Kawabata Hiromi. Au cinquième, votre droite, numéro 7, batting fifth, right fielder, number 7, Arada Nodoka. Au sixième rang, jouant au premier but, numéro 17, batting sixth, playing first base, number 17, Naito Minori. Au septième, votre gauche, numéro 19, batting seventh, playing left field, number 19, Tsukamoto Hotaru. Au huitième, receveur numéro 14, batting eighth, catcher, number 14, Kirishi Yume. Comme en neuvième, jouant au troisième but, numéro 25, batting 9, playing third base, number 25, Sumitani Haruka. Lanceur partant, position flex numéro 22, in the flex position, starting pitcher number 22, Katsumata Mizaki. Les substituts, the alternates, porte-drapeau et numéro 13, flag bearer, and number 13, Goto Miu. Numéro 21, number 21, Ueno Yukiko. Numéro 23, number 23, Miwa Sakura. Numéro 24, number 24, Agatsuma Haruka. Numéro 6, number 6, Nakamizo Yui. Numéro 18, number 18, Kawamura Riza. Team Japan. Voici la présentation de l'équipe visiteur pour ce match. The visiting team for this game, Team Mexico. Is the home team for this game. Comme en première, votre sur le droit, numéro 22, batting first, right fielder number 22, Sarana Mizoki. Comme en deuxième, dernier cours, numéro 16, batting second, shortstop number 16, Marlene Espinoza. Au troisième rang, receveur numéro 2, batting third, catcher number 2, Alejandra Casas. Au quatrième, votre sur le gauche, numéro 99, batting fourth, left fielder number 99, Lina Rebolledo. Au cinquième, jouant au premier but, numéro 5, batting fifth, playing first base, number 5, Emily Bracamonte. Au sixième rang, jouant au deuxième but, numéro 4, batting sixth, playing second base, number 4, Kimberly Rodas. Au septième, jouant au troisième but, numéro 15, batting seventh, playing third base, number 15, Alexa Lopez. Au huitième rang, joueuse désignée, numéro 23, batting eighth, designated player, number 23, Stefania Aradias. Au neuvième, l'autre sur le centre, numéro 27, batting 9, center fielder number 27, Alisa Rebolledo. Et dans la position flex, lanceur numéro 29, in the flex position, pitching number 29, Yanina Trevino. Les substituts de alternates, numéro 33, number 33, Alexandra Aguilar. Numéro 8, number 8, Julian Ceris. Numéro 86, number 86, Kiana Estrada. Numéro 18, number 18, Lindsay Lopez. Numéro 9, number 9, Rassi Iranda. And number 3, numéro 3, Madeline Ruffin. Team Mexico. Les arbitres pour ce match newcomers for this game. Omar at home plate, Randy Homer. At premier but at first base, Casey Coleman. Au deuxième but at second base, Laura McMillan. Au troisième but at third base, Mike Senja. Mesdames et messieurs, maintenant vous levez si vous en êtes capable de tirer chapeaux et casquettes pour les hymnes nationaux du Japon et du Mexique. Ladies and gentlemen, please now rise if you're able. Remove your hats and caps for the national anthems of Japan and Mexico. chance aux deux équipes du match. Best of luck to both teams. Have a good game.
Good afternoon. We continue from the Canada Cup, the Women's International Division. And in this afternoon's matchup, we bring together Team Mexico. Mexico so far in the tournament sporting a record of 1-3 in the tournament against the reigning Olympic gold medal champions from Japan, who were a perfect 4-0 going into this game. And Japan coming off another resounding victory last night in the final game of the day against Team Greece. They won that game 8-1. And they are a softball powerhouse. It has been the United States and Japan at the top of the world ledger for as long as I can remember. And Japan making their first appearance here in Canada at this Canada Cup, by my account, since the year 2017. And they are putting on a show so far and face a Mexico team very much in transition. There is their batting lineup. And there is one big omission. No Jillian Solis in the lineup, their starting shortstop, and she has carried them at home plate. She's been one of the best hitters in the tournament, but not available to Team Mexico, certainly not in the lineup, and hope that she was not hurt in Mexico's game yesterday against Team Canada. They were leading Team Canada, Team Mexico was 2-1 going into the top of the sixth inning, and then Canada exploded with 7 in the sixth and 5 more in inning number 7. Starting pitcher for Mexico, a team that is almost completely turned over in personnel since their appearance in the Summer Olympic Games in 2021, is Yanina Trevino, and faces Ayani Nakagawa, who leads things off. Nakagawa having a great tournament. She is 6 for 13, has 3 runs batted in. And a swing and miss on the high rise from Yanina Trevino. Trevino in her second consecutive Canada Cup tournament. So far, she has pitched 1 1/3 innings. It came yesterday against Canada. And a check swing foul off the bat of Nakagawa. She plays for Shining Vega in the Japanese Diamond Pro League. In this year's Asian Cup tournament, batted 7 for 17 with 12 runs batted in. And hits this to left, coming on and making a phenomenal catch. Lina Reboledo in left field robs Nakagawa. Terrific catch to start this game, and exactly the kind of situation that Mexico will require to hang tough. And shortstop Kyoko Ishikawa, a brilliant defensive player, is Ishikawa. And it's always been the Japanese forte, their ability to pitch and defend. Their attention to detail and their work and commitment to excellence is really unlike any other. Has a lot to do with their culture. And they make very few mistakes defensively, and their pitching is always exceptional. And they're not afraid to score runs either. Ishikawa, and it's been a busy inning in left for Lina Reboledo, is from Riverside, California on this Mexican team. Just completed a very impressive season at Utah Valley College. She helped Mexico to a bronze medal in the late part of 2022 at the Pan Am qualifying event, won by the United States. Canada finished second. So 2 away for Team Japan. And the batter in the designated player position today, seen her at short, seen her at second, is Kanakudo. And that ball gets away from Yanina Trevino. And Trevino, a youngster, as the majority of this whole team is, she's just 20 years old. And finds the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike to Kanakudo. Kudo, 5-for-11, batting .455, 3 runs batted in, and has a double. It came last night against Team Greece. Excellent changeup by Trevino. Took Japan a little while to get their offense rolling in the game against Team Greece, who gave them a nice battle last night for the first 3 or 4 innings. And then Japan threw up a 5 spot and went on to the victory. Full count to Kanakudo. High fly. And again, hits the left fielder, Lina Reboledo. She made all 3 outs in left. Mexico with a good beginning against powerhouse Japan. Mexico coming to bat in Game 3 of this day of the Canada Cup. You couldn't order up a better day. Once again, been very blessed with great weather through the first 4 days of this tournament. Thank you, Luciano. 22 degrees. Little bit of a wind. almost perfect. As Japan gives the ball again today to number 22. And she worked last night in the game against Greece. Her name, Misaki Katsumata. And Katsumata, so far in this tournament, has pitched 6 total innings, given up 5 hits, no runs, struck out 8, and walked no one. In their first 4 victories, Japan has outscored their opponents here in South Surrey at Softball City 32-1. Greece on a Brianna Nakaza double in last night's game here, the final one of the day. The only team to score against Japan through their first 4 games. As Savannah Wysocki leads things off for Mexico. She's a slap-type hitter, has good speed. Facing starting pitcher Katsumata. Just missing outside. The catcher for Japan today, her battery mate, is Yume Karishi. She caught in the game last night as well. On the ground, and there's something you don't see very often. Through the legs of Haruka Sumatani. And Wysocki becomes the first base runner of the game and an error to Japan, which is rare. An error on Sumatani, and Mexico drops down the bunt. Espinoza. Minori Naito took a quick look, thinking about going to second for the force there, but elected to make the safe play. As Mexico has the game's first runner in scoring position. Catcher Alejandra Casas is the batter. And a good rip at that rise from Misaki Katsumata. Casas is from Paris, California, Perris. Played at St. Mary's College. Was in the World Games last year in Birmingham, Alabama. And was an impressive 6 for 20 at this Canada Cup tournament in late June. One of the building blocks of Team Mexico, very much, as I mentioned off the top, in transition from their veteran-laden, talented group that won the Olympic qualifier here in 2019, finishing first, and then lost to Canada in the bronze medal game in Tokyo at the Olympics 2 summers ago. Casas is 0 for 6 so far in the tournament. A good swing on that pitch. Wysocki, the base runner. There is 1 out. Scoreboard here has no outs, but there is certainly 1 out on the sacrifice bunt laid down by Marlene Espinoza. And again, no Jillian Solis Mexico's top hitter for this game. And this is hit well by Cassis and off the glove in center field. Throw to the plate. Gets away from Karishi, and Mexico has Japan behind for the first time. And will await the scoring on the play as Nakagawa went a long way here to get to the ball. Goes off her glove, and it will be ruled a double. Her first hit is an RBI double. And Alejandra Casas on the throw home finds herself at third, and still nobody out, or one out, pardon me. Play at the plate this time. She is gone. Diving try, but Sumatani came home in plenty to record the out. And there are two away. So quite a start to this game. 1-3 Mexico against 4-0 Japan. As the batter is Emily Bracamonte. She squares with two out. And somewhat surprised that the runner gave it a go, but against Japan, you're the big underdog. Try to be aggressive, it just didn't work. Katsumata rears back. Japan with a marvelous pitching staff here that includes young star, 22-year-old Miyugato, and the all-time Japanese great, Yukiko Ueno. And Katsumata has her first strikeout. However, Mexico strikes first. And Japan finds itself trailing. It's only the second run they've given up. They're down by a run here at Softball City.
Mexico. Don't forget to get your Canada Cup 50/50 tickets this year. Tickets can be purchased online at CanadaCup.com or at the info booth behind Diamond One. All proceeds go towards our Super Kids program. Super Kids is our latest initiative to support youth from underrepresented and historically marginalized communities. Their camp registration fees will be waived, and everyone will be welcome here at Softball City, regardless of their background, to celebrate the unifying power of sport. Draw will be held Sunday after the championship game. Tickets go for $1 for $5, 4 for $10, 12 for $20, or 50 for $50. Go on. Second base for number 15,
Japan finds itself trailing for the first time in this event. A perfect 4-0. That's only the second run they've given up, is an Alejandra Casas double just off the glove of Ayani Nakagawa. In deep left center has Mexico in front. Hitomi Kawabata playing at second today. Raike Utsugi has lots of options. defensively and offensively for Team Japan. Kawabata over at second today. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. From young pitcher Yanina Trevino, who kept left fielder Lena Reboledo very busy. Reboledo made all 3 outs in the top half of the first inning. Kawabata, 3 for 9 so far in the Canada Cup, and that's foul. Pulled down the line. Passed over at first today is Emily Bracamonte for Mexico. We've seen her a lot at third in the tournament. We've also seen Trevino there. Generally, it's Solis at short, but that spot belongs today to Marlene Espinoza. Kimberly Rodas, who we have not seen a lot of in the tournament, is at second. And Alexia Lopez starting at third, and she has been a catcher in a couple of outings. Cassis, though, behind the plate for Trevino. And a full count to Kawabata, and it almost hit her. So Japan has its first base runner of this game. Japan, I'm sure, probably entered this one thinking a little bit about their showdown with Triple Crown Colorado, who just improved their record to 4-0 with a 2-1 victory over Italy in one of the games of the tournament so far. Very well pitched. It's an excellent effort against the Triple Crown group, which is made up of high-end NCAA Division I college all-stars. Alice Nicolini limited that team that had scored 35 times in its first 3 games to just 2 runs, and she went all 7 innings. Veteran Nodoka Harada played in many world championships. She's an Olympic gold medalist. And she is the batter with 1 on and no 1 out. As Trevino missing just outside. 2 balls and a strike to Nodoka Harado, playing in right field today. And Cassis comes out to have a chat with her pitcher. Canada and Israel in our next game. Canada 4-1 in the tournament against Israel. And I've been impressed with Israel. They're 2-3. An incredibly young team, as many are here, with the exception of Canada, Japan, and Italy, as they continue to build their programs in those respective countries. Nodoka Harada is 32. Had a tough Olympics. She was just 1 for 17, which is unusual for a player of her stature. And she draws a 2nd consecutive walk from Yanina Trevino. This is a game that Nancy Prieto, approaching, it would appear, understanding that Japan is a huge favorite, giving a couple of her key players the afternoon off, like Solis. So far, another Olympic gold medalist for Japan is Minori Naito, playing at first. Is Harada on a walk, and so was her predecessor, Kawabata. So Japan trailing, but in business with 2 on and no one out in the top of the second. Day 4 of 5 as far as the round robin portion of the competition is concerned. All teams facing one another, play 7 round robin games. Top 4 have an extra playoff opportunity, while the teams who finish 5 through 8 when the round robin comes to a conclusion tomorrow will be in must-win territory in their crossover playoff games. Japan, Triple Crown Colorado, and Canada, all with 4 wins. Canada has the lone loss of that group, is they lost 8-0 yesterday afternoon to Triple Crown Colorado before unleashing a 20-hit, 13-run attack against Mexico, where it came late, but it was big. And a strikeout for Trevino as she sits down the veteran Naito for out number 1. Hotaru Tsukamoto, the batter. 1 for 5 in the tournament, and that one hit was a grand slam home run. It came to blow the game open last night against Team Greece. She clobbered one that went off the first set of bleachers in right center here in this beautiful softball complex. The high rise is too high for Hotaru Tsukamoto. Well, if you're going to deliver 1 hit so far in a tournament, not bad that it was a grand slam. She was 4 for 14 at the Asian Cup earlier this year. Drove in 4 runs in that competition, did Tsukamoto, and has 4 runs batted in thanks to 1 swing last night here in South Surrey. Response has been terrific. The weather has been great. The job that President Greg Tim and his incredible committee, this has been a high-level tournament that also is not just about this women's international event, although it is the highlight. There's 2 U19 divisions and 2 U17 groups playing at not just this park, but 3 others in the nearby areas. Tsukamoto fights it off, and ranging back is Marlene Espinoza. She has great quickness. That's been evident all week from her regular second base position, but with no Solis in the lineup, she ranges over to take a hit away from Hotaru Tsukamoto. A nice work by Trevino after giving up back-to-back walks to record a couple of outs. And the catcher is Yume Karishi. Karishi, 3 for 5 with a double, a home run, and 3 runs batted in. As Japan looks to draw even. Nice block by Cassis behind home plate on the changeup that bounced in the ground. Yume Karishi. Harada at first. Kawabata in scoring position at second. And the drop ball missing down and away. And we'll see if Coach Utsugi green lights the hitter with 3 balls? My guess is no. And no is the right answer. She's taking all the way. 3 balls and 1 strike. Kurishi, a relative newcomer to the national women's team in Japan. And like the United States, they have a huge pool of talent and players to draw from. Even Japan is somewhat in transition after winning the Olympic gold medal 2 summers ago. We'll have a courtesy runner, which is the staple for catchers with 2 out to give them an opportunity to go to the dugout. So a courtesy runner for Kurishi, and the bases are loaded for Haruka Samatani, who's playing at third today. And an opportunity for Japan, and it's almost like you know it's coming every time they take to the field. Sumatani, 4 for 10. She has 2 home runs in the event and 4 runs batted in. She's 22 years of age. She'll turn 23 on the 8th of August. On the ground, stepping on the bag. And the inning is over as Alexia Lopez handles the Sumatani ground ball effectively. 1-0. Mexico leading Olympic gold medalist. Japan going to the bottom of the second at Softball City. A look at some of the ball players. What an opportunity to watch the best of the best, certainly in Japan. Japan and the United States. The United States does not have its national team here. They are in a World Cup qualifying tournament that's going on right now over in Ireland. And they were pushed to the brink today by Australia to remain unbeaten. Japan will play in a World Cup stage qualifier for next year's actual World Cup, formerly known as the World Championship in women's softball. Also next year in Italy, and Japan on their way to Italy after this event, like Canada and Team Italy. Those are 3 of the 6 teams in one of 3 6-team qualifying groups. And pulling the string is Misaki Katsumata, the 23-year-old right-hander. As Kimberly Rodas goes down swinging. Alexia Lopez made the nice play at third. She's 3 for 9, has scored 3 runs, and has a little chat with Mexico's assistant coach. Lopez playing at third. She's caught a couple of games for Mexico. She's from Eastvale, California. And good velocity on the rise from Katsumata. Power, precision, change of pace. A staple of great Japanese pitching. And the changeup on display for Alexia Lopez. Just completed her first year at Cal State Fullerton in a reserve type role. Batted 7 for 43. High fly ball for Nakagawa, and she'll race and hustle to make that play. And there are 2 down in the bottom of the second. Nakagawa made a long running try on Alejandra Casas, what turned into a double and a run batted in the bottom of the first, which is the only run and just the second that Japan has given up in this tournament. A strike to the designated player, longtime Team Mexico member now, Stefania Heredias, who had been more of a reserve-type player prior and during the Olympics. And she has a hit here, Stefania Heredias. Over the head of Hitomi Kawabata, who gave it everything she had to try to haul it in. Is Heredias on base, courtesy of that flare into right field. Elisa Reboledo, one of 2 Reboledos on the team. Elisa in the tournament. Is 2 for 9 and has driven in 2 runs. This a line drive, but right at Minori Naito, and the inning is over. So a hit, 1 left, and after 2, Mexico leading Japan 2-0 as they're enjoying themselves in the bleachers at Softball City.
Numéro 26, centre-field numéro 26, Nakagawa, Ayane.
Japan in a very unfamiliar position at this tournament, trailing. Long, long way to go, however. Top of the order, and center fielder Ayane Nakagawa, who flew out to Lena Reboledo and left in her first trip to home plate. Nakagawa now 6 for 13 in the tournament, has a triple, a home run, and 3 runs batted in. And young Yanina Trevino would probably be regarded as the number 3 pitcher for Nancy Prieto's Team Mexico, behind Lindsay Lopez, who had a great year at the University of Washington, and Racy Miranda, who had a quality campaign at Cal State Fullerton. And a big swing and miss by Nakagawa. Trevino ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nakagawa, 3 for 7 at last summer's World Games. In fact, that event was going on at this very same time 1 year ago. Japan losing to the United States in the gold medal game in that tournament, after beating the United States in the gold medal game the summer before to win the Olympic gold medal. Women's softball will not be a part of the 2024 calendar, unfortunately, in Paris, but there is great hope for it returning in Los Angeles in 2028. And when I look at teams like Mexico and Greece and Israel, those are young teams hoping to be in that mix. And a base hit, the slow roller, allows Nakagawa to get aboard on the infield single. So she's up to 7 hits in the tournament, and that leads Team Japan. Danica Coffey of Triple Crown, Colorado, has 11 hits in 4 games. Janet Leung has 10 for Canada in 5. See how Reika Utsugi handles this situation, the veteran coach. As Kyoko Ishikawa, the shortstop, steps in with nobody out. And she'll lay down a bunt, and a good one, and she'll beat it out. And I think she would have, even if there was no bobble from Alexia Lopez. Ishikawa drops down a bunt, and the official scorer agrees. Base hit. Kanakudo in the designated player role. She flew out to the left fielder, squares, but takes ball 1. Kanakudo turned 24 years of age on the 3rd of April. Japan, with their first real threat in the game, attempted to bunt the high pitch, but fouled it back. Kudo plays for powerhouse Bic Camera in the Japanese Diamond Pro League. Was an impressive 6 for 11 at the Asian Cup earlier this year. Drops down another beauty. Strong throw by Cassis is just in time, as she rifled it over to the covering second base player, Kimberly Rodas. Strong throw made by the catcher. And there is one down. 2-4 on the out. But Japan with the tying run at third and the go-ahead run at second. For Hitomi Kawabata, who reached on a walk but was stranded in the second. Kawabata, 3 for 9 in the tournament, does have a double. An opportunity for her to drive in her first run of the Canada Cup as the rise ball misses up and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. "27-year-old Kawabata turned 27 in June, and Cassis, the athletic catcher, does some quality work to save a run. Nakagawa, the base runner at third. And Ishikawa at second as Japan looks to at least tie the game here. And the home plate umpire comes out, trying to shorten the conversation. Canada and Israel, 6 o'clock. Hope you'll join us for that one. Israel has been impressive under the guidance of Nikki Palmer, with a key coach in the stands here for Israel moving forward, and one of softball's greats from the United States, Leah O'Brien-Amico, 3-time gold medalist. And Rodas can't handle it at second. And 2 runs driven in by Hitomi Kawabata. And Japan leads for the first time as a 2-run single by Kawabata just gets away from Rodas, who is making her first start of the tournament. Normally, today's shortstop, Espinoza, would have been in that position. No one up yet for Mexico as Kawabata drives in her first 2 runs of this event. And it's 2-1 Japan. It's Nadoki Harada, who walked and was stranded as well in the last inning. A 1-1 count to the veteran, Harada. The outside pitch. 2 balls and a strike. Harada will turn 32 on the 9th of August, so 31 years old. Olympic gold medalist. Another fine play by Alejandra Cassis. It's a strong arm, fairly diminutive behind the plate, but so athletic. Runs well. Been impressed with her. And for the second time in the game, Nadoka Harada walks. And now we're going to get a visit from the Mexican assistant. And he usually makes his way out. Jorge Araujo, who's been around the program for many years. He was certainly here in 2019 when Mexico was the first to qualify for the Olympics, beat Canada in a showdown on a Saturday afternoon. with a great pitching performance that day from Dallas Escobedo, who held Canada to 3 hits in a 1-0 Mexico win. Canada then the next day went on to beat Brazil 7-0, and Canada got their revenge on Mexico when it mattered most. A couple of summers later at the Summer Games to win the bronze medal. Canada also won the round-robin meeting. Smiling, don't worry, be happy. It's a great place for joy and happiness. I recommend it to all. Certainly makes me happy. Great to be calling this tournament for a second consecutive year. My name is Peter Loubardias, and thank you for tuning in. Trevino bounces one, and again, Cassis does well to keep the ball in front of her. Minori Naito, who struck out against Trevino earlier in the game. Japan has scored twice in inning number 3. High fly ball. Pushes Lena Reboledo back. The tag, strong throw. And the runner is safe as Kawabata with a smart slide. She saw that the throw was going to be to the inside of the bag, so she slid safely to the outside corner. Because it was a good throw from the left fielder. So both runners move up 60 feet on the fly out by Naito. Totoro Tsukamoto has a grand slam. It is her only hit, and it happened in this ballpark last night in a win over Team Greece. Greece was the first team to score a run against Japan, and Mexico, when they scored first today, became the second. This is ripped into the gap, and Tsukamoto is going to add 2 more runs batted in, her 5th and 6th. And now the throw gets away, and the error will allow Haturo Tsukamoto to move up to 3rd. But a 2-run double from number 19, Haturo Tsukamoto. And her hits have been meaningful. Both of them have cashed in runs. And the bobble and the throw getting away from Lopez at 3rd. And Japan has struck for 4 and lead it by 3. On the RBI 2-run double, courtesy of Tsukamoto. Catcher Yume Karishi was retired, her first trip up, and now there is some activity for Team Mexico. Youngster Alejandra Aguiar working, so it's pretty evident that Nancy Prieto feeling like this is almost a no-win gain experience with this lineup. We've not seen Miranda, has not seen their other key pitcher, Lindsay Lopez. No number 1 hitter in Jillian Solis. And you can understand it. You want to save your pitching, up your standing, put yourself in a better position going into the playoffs, where Mexico will end up in a 5 through 8 spot, I would certainly think. High fly, playable for Bracamonte, and she makes the catch, ends the inning. Japan. A 2-run single from Hitomi Kawabata, and then a 2-run double from Futuro Tsukamoto. And Japan with a 4-1 lead, going to the third on day 4 of the Canada Cup. Top of the Mexico order, Savannah Wysocki singled and scored. In the first inning. Actually, looking at my score sheet, she did score, that is for sure. Reached on an error. The third base player, Haruka Sumatani. Japan jumps in front with a big 4-run third inning as they look to improve their record and remain perfect at 5-0. And then we'll get set for a showdown. Tough play and so well executed. Naito, the shovel for Kawabata, and there's one away to get the speedy Savannah Wysocki. The release made it all happen by the veteran Naito. Pretty to watch if you enjoy good defense. And there's one away for Marlene Espinoza. She laid down a sacrifice bunt her first time up. This one is foul. Yume Karishi played it out anyway, which I actually quite enjoy watching. Not that a Japanese team would ever need any more defensive reps, but game reps are always different. So I like to see them play it out when it's close and it might be in question. Espinoza playing at shortstop in place of Jillian Solis, who has the afternoon off. On rushing is the 31-year-old Nodoka Harada, and she can still run. She hustled in a hurry to get to the Espinoza flare. And there's 2 down. Pitcher Masaki Katsumata has given up 1 run, 2 hits. There has been a Japanese error. And the changeup missing for ball 1. And here's the young woman who drove in Mexico's run with an RBI double just off the glove of center fielder Ayani Nakagawa in left center. Bless you, Luciano. Bless you. In every way. What a lovely gentleman. heading up Premier Softball TV, a great streaming service that has done so much quality work for this product. Primarily looking after all the Americas competitions and brings you a lot of quality men's action as Cassis will walk, so she's aboard for the second straight time. Alejandra Cassis, the catcher, and the courtesy runner will be Espinoza. The previous batter, or the last batter to make an out, runs for the catcher with 2 out in an inning. Lena Reboledo has had a busy day in left field. Has already made 4 plays in this game, 3 of them in the top of the first. And she reached on a fielder's choice. In the first. A strike from Katsumata. Guessing we will see either Miyu Gato, the young sensation, against the greatest pitcher in Japanese history, Yukiko Ueno, tonight against Triple Crown Colorado. And I am so looking forward to that matchup and to have a chance and an opportunity to watch Gato in person for the first time ever and to witness the great Ueno for the first time since watching her in her first World Championship with Japan as a 19-year-old back in the year 2002. 21 years ago. I knew she was good. It was just start of a sensational softball career for Yukiko Ueno, a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. That just missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs to Riverside, California's Lena Reboledo. Hit .323 this year at Utah Valley College. Nakagawa ranging. A fine defensive play by Nakagawa. Looked a lot like the Cassis hit to that area of the field that she had to go farther back for and went off her glove. Nakagawa hauls it in, and Japan leads 4-1 after 3 on day 4 of the Canada Cup. hats, sunscreen in order this afternoon on a beautiful day. Once again in South Surrey, British Columbia at Softball City. Most certainly one of the premier destinations for this sport in all of Canada. Lovely setting in the trees here. 4 different diamonds. Spectacular sight of this annual Canada Cup tournament, where Japan looking to run its record to a perfect 5-0 this afternoon. And if they do, then they will get themselves set for a battle of the 2 unbeatens tonight at 8:30 against a group of college all-stars from the United States, put together by the head and head coach of Triple Crown Colorado, a large and popular softball program that he operates. They run many major tournaments. And they have assembled another terrific team here. Won a good battle against Italy in the game prior to this one. And look out, Yanina Trevino. A rope off the bat of third base player Haruka Sumatani. And that's why pitchers wear face shields on a lot of occasions. Sumatani ripped it right back up the middle. And Jorge Araujo comes out. Not sure if he'll make a change, but he most certainly is going to check on the condition of his pitcher, who had to be shaken as Sumatani collects her 5th hit in 12 appearances, has 2 home runs and 4 runs batted in for Japan. Japan has now scored 36 times in 5 games and given up just 2. Ayani Nakagawa, who made that fine defensive running catch in center, fouls it back. Nakagawa singled and scored in the 3rd. Canada and Israel at 6 o'clock. And we expect another great crowd, as been the case in that 6 o'clock time slot each and every day so far when Canada has played. Last night it was absolutely jammed in here. Standing room only. According to the president, Greg Tim, not a lot of tickets were left when that game was played and completed. This is sky high and hauled in by Savannah Wysocki, playing over in right today. Seen her primarily in left field earlier in the tournament, so she hauls in the Nakagawa ball with plenty of flight, and that field is tough in the sun. Starting to move over a little bit. It was even more difficult to deal with earlier. So 1 out for the shortstop, Kyoko Ishikawa, who singled and scored in the 3rd herself. Ishikawa, you might be able to hear all the excitement. 4 diamonds here. And not only international play, but under 19 and high-level U19 futures and gold divisions. The same can be said about the U17 and their 2 showcase divisions here in Surrey and area. Yanina Trevino has gone the whole way in fact, given up 5 hits, 4 runs. Mexico has committed an error. And Casas with another block. However, this time, Sumatani will scamper and make her way on the wild pitch into scoring position. Kyoko Ishikawa. Looking to add to Japan's lead. Knocked down by Espinoza, but couldn't transfer from glove to throwing hand. And we'll await the scoring on the play. And it is a hit, her second of the game. It's not an easy play for Espinoza. Even if she does come up with that cleanly, it would have been close at first. Runners at the corners with 1 out now for Japan. And designated player Kanakudo. And they'll make the throwdown. It's cut off by Rodas, but no movement at third. And a stolen base for Ishikawa. Japan always has great quickness. Kanakudo. 0 for 1 in the game officially. She dropped down a sacrifice bunt her last time. Off the end of the bat and almost a double play. Right back at Trevino. Quickly over to third and Lopez. But Sumatani was able to scramble back to avoid the double play. Hitomi Kawabata, a 2-run single her last time up. She's in a similar position right here. She has 2 runs batted in, and the other belonged to Hoturo Tsukamoto, who cashed in 2 more in the last inning with an RBI double. Change up and away. Kawabata four for 11 now in the tournament and has her first 2 runs batted in today. Change up, missing just inside. As Japan looks to turn the game open. Mexico and Yanina Trevino has done a nice job. But we saw a very similar situation last night against Team Greece. You can only hold this group down for so long. They just chip away and then generally end up with a big inning and trouble. And this is trouble, and it is gone over the bleachers. Off the bat of Hitomi Kawabata. And she delivers a 3-run homer. And Hitomi Kawabata having a great afternoon. 2 hits, a walk, a home run, and 4 runs batted in. And it carried a long way. Knew it had a chance when it left the bat. I wasn't necessarily expecting it to clear the bleachers in right center, but it did. And this is exactly the script a lot of the time for Japan, with maybe one exception. This game is the first game they've found themselves trailing. Italy did tie them last night early in the game at 1-1. It ended up 8-1. A 3-run shot by Hitomi Kawabata. who's driven in 4 of the 7 Japanese runs. And what was 1-0 Mexico up until the third is now 7-1 Japan. 2 away for a veteran, 31-year-old right fielder Nodoka Harada. Bounced into the dirt. Should be a ball and a strike to Harada, who has walked twice in the game already and maybe on her way to her third. Harada officially 2 for 6. But she has a home run, a triple, and 4 runs batted in for the longtime veteran of this program. And had a good cut at that. Fouled it back to even the count. Japan 4 in the third and 3 more in the towering home run by Kawabata. And lead by 6. Trevino reaches out the glove to end the inning. The 3-run blast by Kawabata has Japan well on its way to a 5th straight win at the Canada Cup.
Lanceur maintenant pour l'équipe du Japon, numéro 23. Now pitching for Team Japan, number 23, Niwa Sakura. Joueuse de premier but numéro 5, first baseman number 5, Emily Bracamonte.
4th consecutive inning of work for the starter, 23-year-old Misaki Katsumata. Crowd growing on a beautiful day. Must be up around 25 or so degrees here this afternoon as Emily Bracamonte fouls it back. Coming off her collegiate season at the University of Central Michigan, where she plays for the Chippewas. One of my favorite college names. Mexico with 1 run. They have just 2 hits, and this will go foul. Japan has made an error. Bracamonte over at first. We've seen her spend quite a bit of time in this tournament over at third. And trying to hit the ball over to third. Japan with a big 3-run home run in the last inning from second base player Hitomi Kawabata. A 3-run shot over the bleachers, right in between the Italian and Japanese flag out there in right center. And the changeup swung on and missed by Bracamonte. Katsumata, just her second strikeout by my count. Kimberly Rodas with her first start of the tournament in this game. Kimberly represented Italy in the 2021 U18 World Cup, where she was 2 for 15. She just completed her first year in college at Valparaiso University in the United States. She is a product of San Bernardino, California. Hit .234 at school this year, did have 1 home run, and is quickly retired. Back-to-back strikeouts for Katsumata. I look to my right, and I see the greatest pitcher in Japanese history, Yukiko Ueno, warming up down the line. Don't know if we'll see her in this game. I'm sure we will before the tournament is over in action. She has pitched a couple of innings so far, just not on this diamond. On the ground, Ishikawa. Inning over. 7-1 Japan after 4 on day 4 at lovely Softball City.
No hits, no errors, nobody left on base. 14 completed. Japan leads 7-1.
Lots of smiles. Lots of sunscreen required as these fans in attendance watch softball powerhouse Japan. 29-year-old Minori Naito, 0 for 2 today. She struck out and flew out to left fielder Lena Reboledo in her last trip. And a new pitcher for Mexico is Alexandra Aguiar. And she, I believe, still has high school eligibility left. Saw her come in the 7th against Canada. And these are tough spots for young people against world-class players. Mexico will still have a couple of games remaining in the round robin. So will Team Japan, and they will face Triple Crown Colorado tonight at 8:30, and then Japan will close out the round robin portion tomorrow. And this place will be jammed. I certainly hope it will, as they take on Canada tomorrow evening. Naito rips it to right. Base hit. Her first of the game. Japan with a leadoff runner on in Minori Naito. Otoro Tsukamoto. When she delivers big. 2 hits in the tournament. Last night was a grand slam home run against Greece. And today, a 2-run double against Yanina Trevino, who did a really nice job. A young pitcher who has just given way in the game to an even younger, more inexperienced pitcher in Alexander Aguiar. She's from California, a softball hotbed in the United States. In the United States, with different connections in their heritage, building not only Triple Crown Colorado, but Mexico, Israel, Greece. The softball talent in excess in the United States and Japan. This time, Tsukamoto draws a walk.
Catcher number 14, Kirishi
Yume Karishi, the catcher. Japan would love one more run here. Then they could end the game early in the bottom of the 5th. If you are up by 7 runs, when the other team has had an opportunity to bat 5 times, then the game comes to an end. You need to be up, I believe, 10 from the 3rd inning on to make them even shorter. See Team Canada starting to walk their way into the ballpark here at Softball City in preparation for their next game, 6 o'clock against Team Israel. Amanda Fama, longtime Italian shortstop, will join me once again for that game. And then it's Japan and Triple Crown Colorado in what will be an battle of unbeatens. So I have a plan for you. If you're in the area, come watch Canada and then quickly scoot home and watch us on the live stream for Triple Crown Colorado and Japan, who will both be perfect entering that game. And sorry, some of my attention is just taken a little with Yukiko Ueno warming up in the Japanese pen. The great Yukiko Ueno, 41. Can't wait to watch her again. Haven't seen her in person since 2002 in Saskatoon. It's been a long time. Still getting the job done. Went 6 innings against the United States 2 summers ago to help them win the gold medal. Beat the United States 3-1 in the gold medal game in 2008 when she was really in her prime. Getting some work, if nothing else. Never a shortage of work with Team Japan. On the ground, tough for Espinoza, into the hole and made a strong throw. Fine play by Marlene Espinoza. Playing over at shortstop today in place of the resting Jillian Solis, who's been their best player and one of the best players in this tournament in reference to Solis. So it allows the runners to move up 60 feet. For Sumatani, who ripped one right back at then pitcher Yanina Trevino in a last at bat in the fourth. Sumatani enjoying a good tournament. And Japan would like this game to go as short as possible, give them a little extra rest for the showdown of unbeatens coming up tonight. 8:30, the start of that game. That's what it is scheduled for. Sometimes things get pushed back. We're certainly on schedule so far today. And this is going to score runs. 2 of them. Sumatani. In fact, more than 2. Just 2. RBI double by Haruka Sumatani. And she has 2 more runs batted in. And it's a 9-1 Japan advantage. Sumatani with runs batted in 5 and 6. And her second double of this event. 4 in the third, 3 more on the 3-run shot by Kawabata, and 2 on the double courtesy of Haruka Sumatani. In the top of the order, and center fielder Ayani Nakagawa, who's 1 for 3 in the game, scored a run in that 4-run third inning. And I feel for this young pitcher very similarly to how I felt last night when she had to work in a similar situation against Team Canada. But the strategy for Nancy Prieto and Mexico is not conceding the win, but understanding that they are a huge underdog against Japan and elected to rest their star shortstop, Jillian Solis. And also, we have not seen from their top 2 pitchers, Racy Miranda or Lindsay Lopez, who helped the University of Washington advance to the Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City in early June. Base hit, Nakagawa. Sumatani waved home. And they've hit double digits again. They just chip away and then generally explode on you. It's almost surgical the way the Japanese go about their business in every way. A run-scoring single. And another 3 spot. And this young pitcher, who's yet to make her way through high school, from what my research has been able to find, Alexandra Aguiar, is going to have the chore of trying to find a couple of more outs Japan 10, Mexico 1. And Mexico led 1-0 until the third. Next game, you saw it on your screen. Canada and Israel. Canada 4-1. Israel 2-3. I've liked the way Israel has played. I've said it a few times over the last couple of days. Putting together a nice program there. Off the glove of Alexia Lopez. The throw at second is not in time. And Kyoko Ishikawa has her third consecutive hit. She's 3 for 4. This one, a double. And a valiant effort over at third by Alexia Lopez, just off the tip of her glove. Hard hit ball by Ishikawa. And now Kanekuto, who has yet to deliver a hit today, which is rare for number 16. She's the designated player in this game. Played both shortstop and second and is very good at both. Takes a pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Japan, 10 runs, 11 hits. They've committed 1 error. And have now scored 42 runs in the tournament. Given up 2. Popped in the air, and that's unfortunate. Alejandra Casas couldn't find it. Just hoping that young Aguiar, be great to see her get a ball that turned into a double play. This is gone. Kanekuto got all of it. A 3-run shot. She clobbered that pitch. And poor Alexandra Aguiar. She's 17, in high school, going to be great. But you're facing the best, or certainly second best, team on the planet. That is baptism by fire. 2 days in a row. Last night against Canada late, today late versus Japan. Kudo Kana. 6th hit. 6 runs batted in. That was Kana's first home run, and it was a no-doubter. Evident right from the sound of the bat. Off the composite bats, which have so much pop. Bat technology has changed this sport in a massive way. Three balls and a strike to Kawabata, who hit a 3-run homer herself last time she came up. And she's on base with her second walk. She has 6 runs batted in. Has been on base all 4 times. Hitomi Kawabata. Still only 1 out in what's a 6-run 5th inning. And these can be tough to even watch. And Jorge Araujo, one of the Mexican coaches, comes out to chat with Alejandra Casas, the catcher. Is the Japanese batter, Nodoka Harada, steps in. The long ball playing a factor in this game late for Japan. Kawabata, 3-run shot. Kanakudo just delivered a 3-run shot. Part of a 12-hit attack for Japan. And one thing about Japan, they will not take their feet off the gas pedal. They don't believe in it. It is demanding excellence all the time from their program. It's always been the case. Always will be the case. And this longtime coach, Utsugi, wants quality. She strives for her players to be as close to perfect as humans can be. And it is not uncommon for them to leave a game, especially one that doesn't go quite as well, and that happens rarely for the national team, and have 3 or 4 hours of practice. And very much looking forward to their next 2 round-robin games. And an out. Savannah Wysocki raced over towards the line and makes the catch, as Japan has now batted around in a 6-run 5th. Minori Naito started the explosion with a single to open the top of the 5th. She's back up again. And Aguiar throws well. She's got a bright future. Just 17. And facing the best in the world right now. Naito in the game is 1 for 3. Singled and scored earlier in the inning. Aguiar just missed. So 3 balls, no strikes. 3-run homer in this inning to help them achieve the 6th spot by Kanakudo. And that's a strike. Naito didn't think so, and neither did the runner. But a called strike. Canada, Israel, Japan, Triple Crown, Colorado to follow this game. Japan about to run its record after 3 more outs that they have to achieve. And Triple Crown, Colorado to meet in a battle of unbeatens tonight at 8:30. Canada will play Israel. Canada's record 4-1, Israel 2-3. But a very competitive 2-3 is the best way I can put it. They gave Italy a nice run yesterday before Italy got to them later in the game. Big swing by Tsukamoto, who has had an excellent day. 2-run double, walked her last time up and scored. Or 2 hits have delivered 6 Japan runs in the tournament. Did she go? That was awfully close. From my vantage point, looked like she might have broken the plane with her bat, but I don't have a say, and nor should I. On the ground, backed up is Rodas, and the inning is over. Japan, 6, and are 3 outs away from running their perfect record, the reigning Olympic gold medalists, to 5-0 at Softball City in South Surrey, British Columbia. Katsumata giving up just 2 hits. And Mexico down to their last 3 outs. They would require a lot of runs to extend this game. They'd need 6 runs in this inning to extend it, so just a matter of time. Canada and Israel next, followed by Japan and Triple Crown Colorado. And Stefania Arias, not interested in going away easy. She has her second hit of the day. She's 2 for 2. She has 2 of the 3 hits off Misaki Katsumata, the impressive 23-year-old. Seen a lot of this pitcher and Sakura Miwa so far. Have yet to watch on this diamond in the games I have been fortunate enough to call either the innings of Miu Gatu, the 22-year-old star, and 41-year-old. Great. It's the only way that it fits. In fact, she's still 40. She will turn 41 on the 22nd of this month, so shouldn't add a birthday yet to Yukiko Ueno. Facing Emily Bracamonte is Misaki Katsumata, who won't turn 24 until the 12th of October. And she fouls that back. She's given up 3 hits today. Has a couple of strikeouts. Clinical in her approach. The 2 strikeouts will tell you that not overpowering these Mexico hitters. And a payoff pitch upcoming to Emily Bracamonte with nobody out. 1 on. Mexico is going to fall to 1-4. Sumatani for 1. The turn. Double play. Fine turn by Kawabata. Around the horn goes Japan. 5, 4, 3. Pretty to watch. So down to the last out for Savannah Wysocki. Another player with lots of promise. She's from El Paso, Texas. Finished her collegiate career at Lubbock Christian. Ishikawa. Just a little Japanese defense to end it. Perfectly executed double play, and then the short hop for Ishikawa over to first. Japan is 5-0. They knock off Mexico 13-1. We'll take a break and be back in about 40 minutes' time for Canada and Israel. So long for now from Surrey.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now. SoftballPremierTV.com. Live it on Softball Premier.